Is it garbage if you run out of gas in the parent pickup line in school?
When did this happen? And they still made it to the show, baby!
Let's go! I got a feeling the car's still in the school.
Gang, AYG Live, AYG Live, AYG Live. Grab the squad and come out and see the boys in Red Bank, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and all along that Route 66 tour. All tickets available at RUGarbage.com.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Are You Garbage? The show where you find out if your favorite comedians are classy individuals or absolute trash. Now, here are your hosts, Kevin Ryan and H. Foley.
Hey, everybody out there, and welcome back to everybody's favorite podcast. This is Are You Garbage?
Oh, yeah.
It's that little show we sit down with your favorite comedians, and we find out if they're good to be classy.
Yeah.
Or they're just a big old piece of trash.
Trash.
I'm your host, H. Foley, coming at you on a beautiful day. We're out back here at Tootie's in the new edition. She's off to an equestrian event.
Okay.
She's at the track. What are you going to do?
yeah,
My
sure.
co-host is coming at you from right next to me. He is the CEO of Are You Garbage. He is an international businessman and my best pal in the whole wide world. Give it up for KJ, Kevin James Ryan, everybody.
What up, gang? Thanks for tuning in. As always, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Full video available on YouTube. As you know, those numbers are
True to riff.
cooking. And obviously, the greatest website of all time, www.patreon.com/areyougarbage. You go over there for all your bonus content needs, gang.
Love that money. And having a nice shout out to our producer extraordinaire. The old magic man makes us all look good. Works the ones, the twos, the threes, and the fours. He's wearing his best Thrasher shirt today.
Yeah, that's
Give it up for
crazy.
T-Bone McScruffins. Toby McMullen, everybody.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for that most illustrious intro.
Yeah.
My two esteemed colleagues, while taking shots at my
Attire.
attire, I think I look like pretty dapper.
Yeah, you look like you're going to court, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, I look forward to our guests correcting our most bozo of tendencies.
Yes, we do, gang. The long hair ain't lying because we couldn't be more excited to have our incredibly, and I mean incredibly special guest here with us today for the first time. She's going to straighten us out with the old etiquette.
Yeah.
She is the founder and director of Beaumont Etiquette. All right. She is also a best-selling author of Modern Etiquette Made Easy and Business Etiquette Made Easy. She has been featured on, you might have seen her on the Jennifer Hudson Show, The Today Show, Vogue Magazine, Time, the New York Times, Harper's Bazaar. She is the global ambassador for the Princess Grace Foundation. Ooh. She is a very big supporter of nonprofits for children all over the world. She's also the founder of the Plaza Hotel's finishing program, and she's on tour in the fall. You can see her in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Austin. She just helped Snoop Dogg get ready for the Olympics.
How you doing?
Give it up for Myka Meier, everybody.
Hey!
There we go.
Thank you. A warm welcome.
Thank you so much.
I apologize for my crude co-host.
I feel like I should have put a collar on at least. I'm the only person without a collared shirt on right
Bozo.
now. Feels like a job application or a job interview for me.
Myka, thank you for coming in.
Yes.
We have a lot of questions for you. We've debated heavily over the years about what's the right thing to do, this, that, the other thing, and we finally have you here to guide us.
It's an honor.
Yes.
I'm really excited to hear what has been going on in New York. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Dare I ask?
Yeah.
How did you get your start in this? How did you get into etiquette?
It was actually out of insecurity. I didn't grow up with etiquette at all. And
You're from Florida, I saw.
I'm a
which
Florida,
is
a Florida man.
tough to come out classy from Sarasota.
I know. But
Ma, get the good fireworks.
Yeah.
I am a Floridian and a proud Floridian, but I didn't practice a lot of good etiquette back in the day, you could say. And I was living in London.
Contractually obligated on the show.
Hello.
And I actually, my boyfriend at the time told me I should take an etiquette class. Because,
Really?
Yes, which is the last thing you want to hear from someone you're dating.
Well, the Europeans are different with the etiquette.
They're very different.
Before my first time over there, I got laughed at in Germany for how I hold a knife and a fork.
Exactly, which is where I was. I was in that place. And so he suggested I take an etiquette class, and I did. And I kind of went kicking and screaming, didn't really want to go. And I left, and I was mind blown at what I learned. And I could not wait to take another class.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
I'm
being shamed into it's pretty crazy.
I'm a University of Florida,
You should be hunting gators somewhere.
I really should be. So it was, yes.
What's your background? What did your parents do growing up?
My dad is from Barbados. My mom is from Boston, and so we kind of grew up sailing and barefoot on boats.
Okay.
My mom's side of the family owns a construction company.
Okay.
And my dad.
Hey, you're in etiquette, okay?
Yeah, and my dad in a marine, like a boating career. So we didn't really. But they were really. You know what it was? We wouldn't have real silver or anything like that, but they were very into respect.
Okay.
It was very much like little kids would be respectful and say, yes, ma'am, no, sir. It was about kindness. So from a young age, that was really ingrained, which is actually the more important part of etiquette.
Sure, of course.
So that's, yeah. So I took my first etiquette course as an adult.
What did the boyfriend do at the time where you guys were running in
Was he like
in
high
circles?
society?
You know, he's Swiss.
He wasn't a Peaky Blinder or
Swiss.
anything like that.
Swiss.
He wasn't a Peaky Blinder.
So he wasn't a Peaky Blinder, but he's Swiss, so he's very conservative, I guess you could say, in many ways.
Buttoned up.
Very buttoned up.
Yeah.
He never leaves home without a collared shirt kind of thing. And so
Toby,
for
are you
me-
Swiss? Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a big difference
I'm
for
sweating
me.
so bad to this thing. I feel like I'm wearing a full suit right now.
That's what he, I mean, okay. All right.
But you know the good news, though? In the end, I married him. That's the good
Oh,
news.
so that's who you married?
That's
your
who I married.
husband?
That's my husband.
Whoa.
That's my husband.
You made it seem like he was a guy you met on, spring fling or something.
You're throwing pistachio shells on the floor?
I married
Okay.
him. So it was worth etiquette course. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow. Very interesting.
Okay. All right.
I would say, I mean, how do you want to get into this?
I mean, I got a million questions for her.
Okay, I guess first of all, we tried to, make the addition as nice as possible. We got a
Right.
tablecloth
Yes.
for
I
you.
love it.
How is the setting? What do you notice wrong? What do you notice right, and what do you notice wrong right away? Because there was a bit of discussion over the setting.
Right. So it's actually not bad. The only thing I would say is that the glasses are on the wrong side of the table. So
They should be on the right. Should be on
they
the
should
right.
be on your right.
I
exactly.
told you that.
No, you didn't. You set them.
No, I didn't. I have experience in fine dining.
Okay, but
Yeah,
that
we
was
can tell.
that was one. That's the first big thing.
Okay.
The smaller fork should be on the outside.
Just be careful. We're gonna return those after.
Okay.
So just be careful with them.
Those would be the salad forks.
That would be the salad fork. So the salad fork would go on the outside, and then otherwise, it actually looks pretty good.
Okay.
I
Two
have to say.
spoons?
Well, it depends.
Soup
It depends
spoon?
on what courses. It depends on how many courses you're having. So if you had this many courses, then yes, you
We
would
got
set
5
this many.
guys coming.
But if you just had, for example, one course, then you would just have a fork and a knife. You don't
Okay.
need all the others. You only put down what you're going to use.
Okay.
And I feel like this is too many plates. If I'm
Yeah, what
being
do you mean?
honest with you,
Well,
is that too many
this is-
plates?
This is a bread plate, so that also should be on the left, not in the middle of the plate. So
Okay.
the bread plate goes to the left. So if you actually think about the car, think about BMW, bread, meal, water, wine, coffee, tea. So BMW.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
I got my shit set up Beamer style.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
You sit down at the table. When does the napkin go over the leg?
Okay, so if you're at a restaurant, the moment you sit, it goes on the leg.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at a private home, you wait until the host or the hostess puts it on their lap, and then you follow.
But who's got these kind of napkins at their house?
Swiss people,
Swiss.
not those hooligans you grew up with.
And then
didn't-
over the leg, right?
Over the
Okay,
leg.
but here's how you do it. There's an actual way you put
Oh, I love this episode, dude.
Okay, here we go. Ready? So you take it and then see how there's a seam. You put the seam folded in.
Okay.
Then here we have a crease. That crease faces your belly button like this.
My belly button?
Yep. So that the opening of the napkin faces away from you. So the crease is touching your belly button. The opening of the napkin is away from you.
What's the purpose? Is there a purpose, or is that
The
just
purpose, yes. There's
Put your
always
chicken
a purpose.
bones in there.
Sometimes in an emergency. But here, what we do is we bring the napkin up to our mouths. We don't go down. We bring it up to our mouths, and then you can open it, and then you take your stains, and you can hide them.
Oh, you
Right.
just blew my
Wait,
mind.
so it doesn't go over.
So I do this, and
I
then
put it
do
over my
this.
right leg.
Exactly. But then if you wipe your mouth, then everybody sees your stains.
That's my problem. Is it's always very dirty.
Exactly.
Looks like a murder scene if it's spaghetti night.
Exactly.
And how do you feel about
He does this sometimes.
no tucking.
never?
No, never.
But I ruined so many shirts.
Not after today. I'm gonna help
Okay.
you. I'm gonna help you. But
you're gonna have to be a goddamn
Yeah.
miracle worker for him not to ruin shirts.
I'm
Okay.
already ruining the table.
I'm gonna try.
And
Okay.
okay, so what if all right, let's say you're eating and there's something in a piece of cartilage, something that you don't like.
Right.
Where does that go? Because I'm
You got a bad piece of chicken salad.
Okay. So
I'm spitting it right in there, right?
So that's an emergency etiquette scenario, and that is when you could do that. If you have, let's say, a sharp fish bone or something like that. But if you are getting gristle or something like that, I think your bites are too big. That's the point.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah.
I did not
Make an
invite-
accusation.
I did not
Yeah.
invite you here to be
Yes.
accused.
So that would be maybe I'm wrongly assuming, but if you're getting a piece
you're
of
not.
gristle,
You got a whole T-bone bone in your
Yeah.
mouth.
Oh no, you're
Yeah.
right on the money.
Yeah, you're right on the money.
so I would take smaller bites so you can feel, and then when you're cutting, you can cut. When you're cutting, you feel the
I
gristle.
black out if I'm being honest with you. I
Can
just go.
I ask you this to
Yes.
be total candor? I don't know if that's the right word.
Totally, okay.
Try to impress you.
I'm impressed.
My nose runs a little bit when I eat.
When you eat everything,
So a lot of times I'll do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do a little bit of that.
That's
Yeah.
not good,
How do you
right?
feel about
no,
that?
I don't feel good about it.
Man,
So-
your husband definitely would have
I don't
dumped
feel
me.
good about it. Here's the reason why. Because we pass these on to the next person. So imagine the person before you.
I agree.
Even if you wash them, right? It just feels.
I'm right there
so
with you.
instead, I think
Where do we get the hotels? You're gonna.
it's
hate
either
my guts.
like this is like an old fashioned either like a you just bring some Kleenex and that's what I would use.
Can
I
you
would take
excuse
that out of
yourself?
You can if you need to, but if it's constantly running at the table, that's impossible. to
You
keep.
got to get to a doctor. I
Right?
think is the.
Then
is the
you need a
main
good
thing here.
ENT.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't,
I went to him. He said
Did
everything
you?
was cool.
I would just have Kleenex, like just like something in your pocket that you can
Okay.
use instead of the napkin.
How do you feel about handkerchiefs, by the way?
You know, I like them. A lot of people say they're unsanitary, but I really like them. It's a very gentlemanly, kind of traditional gentlemanly accessory that a lot of people still use. But that's fine.
Just gotta watch what colors you use in the wrong neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus, Regis, relax.
Caught up in LA.
Okay, I think this episode is going to cause so many future fights at dinners. We're gonna be like, well, Myka said not to do that, you idiot.
We should have prepped you by letting you know that Foley is the final boss of etiquette.
Yeah,
He's your
you're-
biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough. He's,
Okay.
Speaking of which, I've taken a lot of heat over the last couple of years on tour with these guys as far as my sneezing and coughing etiquette.
It's bad. It's
What
violent.
is the proper way
Okay.
to handle that? We'll start
right.
with the sneeze.
The sneeze, I think the sneeze is actually the correct etiquette is in the arm,
Elbow.
in the elbow,
Okay.
not.
this?
Yeah, it's the elbow now. That's kind of a post-COVID thing, actually. It used to be in the hand. If you do sneeze in your hand, it's always your left hand because your right is what we
Up
meet,
top.
greet, shake hands with.
You
Yeah.
lead with the right.
Right? So your right hand's more your public hand in that way. So you would sneeze in your left hand if you needed to, but I think right now it's the arm crease.
I always thought classy people shook hands like that. Like they give you this.
The back.
Oh, with the
hand?
left
Yeah.
hand?
No.
Oh, like a lady would do that, right?
No.
Like what's that? Where like yeah.
Well, that would be if somebody reached out for her hand, then she could put. I mean, she could put whatever hand she wanted, but I would never shake hands with the left hand.
I like that.
No, and also you know
Disrespect.
the other
Yeah.
thing is when people sit while shaking hands. That's probably the biggest no.
Okay.
Don't ever shake somebody's hand while you're sitting
Correct. You always stand
down. Whoa.
to show respect.
What about the kissing of the hand thing?
Who are you hanging out with, dude?
I mean,
Dude,
You
don't
know-
listen. Okay, yeah, sorry.
I don't think a lot of people would want their hand to be kissed nowadays. I think
Okay.
it's super
Thank you.
old fashioned.
Yes.
I would
What about
say.
the kiss, the double kiss on the cheek?
So that's
your
interesting.
opinion.
That's a lot of New Yorkers do the kiss. I think I get kissed.
They
here a
want to
lot.
be Europeans. The double kiss.
in LA. I think LA, Miami, kind of it's yeah. But
Okay.
anyway, I think it's so the one thing to remember, it's always right cheek to right cheek. That way, and if you remember that, you're not going to kiss somebody's nose.
So you always lead with the right.
Right.
Go to
So
the
if we're
right.
going in, I'm coming into the right like this, and you are coming into the right. So we never have that awkward like, ooh,
I
which
mean,
side?
I would never do that in a
And it's
million
one
years.
kiss in America, 2 kisses in Europe, or even some countries like Switzerland, it's 3. Can you imagine kissing 3
Hey, get
times?
a room, will you?
Yeah. It's a lot. It's very
That's
intimate.
a lot of kisses.
It's a lot of
Wait,
kisses.
kiss?
Right. So
Last one's on the lips. Right down the barrel.
sometimes. No.
Now, would you ever do that to somebody you've never met, or that's like a introduction? Like you're seeing them again. Oh, hey, good to see you. Smooch, smooch, smooch.
In Switzerland, it's after you've met them. So I made the mistake once very early on in my career, and I was just kissing everybody. I was like, oh, it's just 3 kisses.
Get over here,
But
you.
you can
Those Americans
see-
are
yeah,
wacky, yeah.
Kind of. And you could see the reaction was, and instantly I was like, okay, this isn't right. This isn't right. So I would say it's more somebody you have already built rapport with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now let's get back to our restaurant. You had this. Well, how long? All right, I have so many questions. Let's say you sit. There's a group of people. When you say you get your food first, you have to wait for everybody to get their food.
Absolutely.
But I was also told there was a number on that.
Absolutely.
It's anything over 6.
I would say 8. I would say 8 because you could get, especially in some of the larger restaurants, you can sit around a table of 8 pretty frequently.
yeah.
So my number is 8. I think it's an opinion. I would say everybody, if you're around a circular table, 8 people, I would still wait. Anything after that, I think it's too big, and you just make sure people on your left and right have their food, and then you start.
Left and right.
How do you handle? Say you are at a table of 8 people. You're the only one that orders an appetizer.
Or 2. I don't know.
Or a salad. Is that a faux pas?
Yes.
It is.
It is because you're making everyone else wait, and often servers
Oh, I
won't
didn't
bring
think of
that.
that.
So I would say no to that one, just because you don't want everyone saying, and then it's awkward because everyone's sitting there looking at you eat. Who wants that, really? Right?
That's usually the way it goes with me.
So I would try to match. I would try to match.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a big thing, trying to match what is happening.
And with the meals, if let's say we're around a table of 8 and one person is waiting on their food and everybody else has theirs, then it's that person's job to say, please, everyone, enjoy while it's still hot.
Sure.
Please. And then you really should go.
We're
You should
usually
eat.
pretty good with that.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't
You
don't do
wait,
that.
which makes me
Oh,
weird.
yeah, I wait.
I say go, 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 and you go, no, I'll wait. And I know you're not happy
Well, I
about
do
it.
that. I do that with the guys of Etiquette, but it's actually because I don't want to be the fat guy sitting there eating by himself. To be honest with you,
Shouldn't have ordered an appetizer. Okay, and what is? Oh, sorry.
shared appetizers. How do you feel
Proper
about
way to
that?
share appetizers.
Okay, so it's you could take a side plate, even if it's a bread plate, and you put some on the other plate, even if you have to ask for a second plate, and then you split it like that. You
Like,
don't-
you're
no,
not-
we know that.
I know, but
We're
like,
not animals.
Say so you're somewhere and chips and guac get dropped.
Yes.
Under any condition, are you just dipping into that guacamole? Because that's what I'm doing.
I think you could. It depends on the restaurant. If it's kind of casual, I think that's fine to do. But no double dipping, right?
Sure.
And then, or you could take a spoonful of guacamole, put on your plate, take some chips, put on your plate, and eat off your plate.
That's the answer.
If you weren't, that's the more formal way. But in a casual environment, which is probably where you're having chips and guacamole, I think it's fine.
It's the nicest restaurant I've ever been to.
I think it's fine.
Kip, let's talk about True Classics.
Ooh, love them true classics.
They're our favorite T-shirts. I have my inaugural True Classics 4X that I wear all the time.
Okay.
Just made a big order over there.
All right.
I'm going True Classics all the way. None of that crap that I've been wearing. They don't fit right. The True Classics, they fit good, they wash good, they wear good. Man, and they make the pipes look all right.
That's the thing. Those folks over there at True Classics have designed a T-shirt to accentuate your best features, which are, for me, not a lot, but they do it. They're tailored for the perfect fit, snug in the arms and chest, which makes you feel like an old linebacker.
You do, dude.
With just the right amount of room in a midsection for those out there with the old beer belly.
For the big boys.
True Classic sells premium products at affordable price. You can get their best-selling T-shirts, hoodies, jeans, and more in 3, 6, or 9 packs. I go for the 9-pack.
Let's go.
I said ship them this way. All their clothing can be mixed and matched and designed for your lifestyle so you can look and feel your best every day. True Classics is committed to their products, and they even have a 100% perfect fit guarantee for easy returns because they're looking out for you.
Let's go.
Right now, you can unlock big savings when you bundle items site-wide. Just go to our exclusive link at trueclassics.com/garbage to save. That's trueclassic.com/garbage. Discover the perfect blend of summer vibes and timeless elegance with True Classics. Shop now. Elevate your wardrobe today.
Do it. Kip, let's talk about the Blue Chew.
Ooh, I'm hard right now just thinking about it, gang.
I was going to say you need it, all right? You're coming at me a little soft
Who
lately.
you been talking to?
Gang, everybody needs a little help every once in a while. Especially as you get older, you put on a couple of pounds, the testosterone starts to slow down, the libido slows down.
Hypothetically speaking, obviously. Not me, but a guy I know.
Yeah, when the moment strikes, you want to be ready to go. You want to show up with your, You don't want to show up to a
with a pea shooter.
to a knife fight with a slingshot. You want to be ready for trouble.
I think you want to know. You want to show up to a knife fight with a noodle. You know what I mean? Yeah, bring a heavy bike sword with you.
A piece of cavatelli, soft cook. You want to stay al dente, if you know what I mean. And Blue Chew can help you. Do yourself a favor, get over to Blue Chew, deliver it right to your house in discreet packaging so no one knows you're juicing.
Yeah, you can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready so you're ready whenever the opportunity arises. Blue Chew wants you to have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It works, man.
Yeah, it does.
I'm telling you. It's
He ain't lying. Look out.
What's right is right, gang. Blue Chew wants the entire country rock hard.
It's not in there.
And
is
it
it?
is, and they're doing it one wiener at a time. That's what they told me. That's the mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. Till every tent is pitched, till every rod is raised. It is discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for our listeners, you limp dick losers. Try Blue Chew for free when you use our promo code at Garbage. Use our promo code Garbage at checkout. Just pay the $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Garbage to receive your first month for free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Yes, we do. How about this?
Okay.
Where do you feel? Okay, so you get a bunch of things for the table. Okay. How do you? Is there a line of where, like, if you're eating too much of the appetizers, or what if everybody kind of gets their fill and they stop and there's still some appetizers in there? Is it bad form to go and knock them off?
Knock them off
Does
is
that make
not.
sense? Do you get what I'm
I
saying?
mean, you sound like you're
I've never
whacking a
heard
witness.
anyone talk about food by knocking
Well,
off,
let me tell
but
you,
I like it.
this is why I asked. So
Yes.
we went to Ireland not that long ago, and I'd been on Ozempic for a while before that.
You don't need to give her the backstory. He was eating a lot, okay?
And then I got off of it, and like my superpowers kind of came back. And we were out. We had a couple of drinks, maybe a little bit, you know what I mean, a couple touches of the green stuff. So I was pretty hungry. I was in the zone.
Right.
And
Okay.
these guys were done, and I kind of finished off all the your appetizers, and they gave me a lot of crap for it.
It was
Is
the
that
table
bad?
next to us.
Is that bad?
I'm not a big food waster.
I agree.
All right.
Also,
Perfect.
you're with friends.
If you're with friends, I'm not a food waster. I think I would have done it too if I were still hungry. I would just say, would anybody like the last chicken wing? Would
Sure.
anybody like the last this?
What
And
he
then-
said was, everybody back up.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
And will you take leftovers home from a restaurant? You cool with that?
I think it depends on the restaurant. If it's a formal restaurant,
No.
I think I wouldn't.
So if you're at like a business meeting,
I wouldn't.
you wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't. Casual, if you're at Chili's, go for it.
You like a
TGI
Chili's?
Fridays, I love Florida girl.
Yeah, that's right.
But if I were at a formal restaurant or any time in business, I wouldn't.
Huh. What is acceptable to eat with your hands?
A lot. I would say pizza, hot dogs, French fries.
I mean, at a restaurant. Like, if you're, like, you go, the bread, you're not, like, you don't rip the bread.
Okay, so you want to learn bread etiquette
Yes.
because it's common and it's probably one of the most it's the worst eaten. I think people have a lot of trouble eating bread. So bread is actually, so what side is our bread plate on?
Left.
Excellent.
BMW.
So you take the bread, let's say a bread roll, and you put it on the plate. Then you only tear off the one piece you're going to eat at a time. So then you butter that piece, and then it goes into the mouth. So you don't take the whole roll and break it in half or butter it in half. So you
that's what I
only
do.
break off the one piece, butter it, and then it goes in.
I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
Is it bad to make a little sandwich out of the bread? Which I've done before and gotten yelled at. You make a little meatball sandwich at a joint.
You know, I'm
No good?
I'm gonna say no good for that one, but you know, but with bread and sauces, actually in France and Italy, it is acceptable to sop up
Yes.
bread or dunk bread in soups in those two cultures. So if you're at an Italian restaurant, it's actually you're not doing too much wrong.
I
there.
love that. Again, we were in Ireland. I had a lot of soup. I had a lot of chowder. And they served a piece of brown bread with every bowl of soup. And I was taking the piece of bread and just putting it in the soup and then eating it like that. Is that bad?
That wouldn't be correct etiquette in Ireland, but
It was also buttered.
but you know, I think a lot of people do it.
Okay. All right.
I have a butter question for you.
Please.
So, and it's more common. It used to be lower end places, but even higher end places do it now, where they give you the pad of the butter wrapped in foil. It's cold. It doesn't spread well. Is there a maneuver to, because people will put it in their hands, the really trashy move, put it under the armpit. No good, I'm sure.
wait, what?
But
He's from North Carolina.
You got to give him a little bit.
is there a move for warming your
warming
cold
butter.
butter up?
I don't know one is the truth. I just let it stay out a little bit. And if you take your knife and sort of kind of
Skim it.
skim it a little bit, that starts the process. That's what I would do. I've never heard of the armpit. I've never heard of that. I thought I heard everything.
What's classier, the butter or the olive oil? In your opinion, what do you think's fancier?
Butter.
Really?
Butter because, yeah, butter. Olive oil is a bit more casual. It's more just like dipping and can be messy. Butter is a little bit more controlled.
Okay.
Not going to drip on your nice clothes.
I like that.
How do you feel about people taking pictures of their food?
Great question.
Formal environments, it's a no-go. I think
If you were at a business meeting, you wouldn't break
I
out
would
that.
know.
Okay.
I would never advise that. I think no, but
You blew the Penske deal.
but yeah, I
Took
think
a picture of your entree. Okay.
I think casual, it's fine. But you know, some restaurants too, if the restaurant has a hashtag on the menu, they're like looking for
the
you.
interaction.
If they have
Okay.
a molten chocolate lava ball that melts, that's
and there's a big show of like,
right.
oh, we're going to light it on fire.
Right. So I think you have to. It's situational.
It's a situational.
Yeah.
As I was saying before, I tend to get a lot of stains on my shirt when I eat. Is there a proper way to deal with that? And is the Tide stick acceptable at the table?
Not at the table.
Not at the table, but I
Really?
love a
Can't be
good Tide
doing
stick.
laundry at a restaurant.
I think I love a Tide stick, but I would bring
They
it.
work so good.
It works so good.
Yeah.
I would just go to the restroom. And just do it there.
Mm-hmm.
But or you know, it's very common to also ask if you have a stain to ask for soda water.
Okay.
And
you can do
think-
that at the table?
I actually think that is much more accepted because you just want to get it out right away.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the server will just bring it over right away, and then that's intended to help you. So you like dab right there, just kind of, not making a big deal of it.
Sure.
But yeah.
When was the last time that happened to you? Just out of curiosity.
I don't
never
remember.
spilled in her life.
No, that's not true. I don't remember, but it has definitely happened to me.
Okay.
For sure.
What was the last faux pas you remember make? Like, what was one that's hanging over your head of like, shit, I shouldn't have done that?
Or what was the one that maybe triggered your boyfriend at the time to say, hey?
That one was probably I just used to not even understand how to hold my fork and knife. I think that.
Can you show us the
Ooh, yeah,
proper
that's
way?
great.
Yeah, that was probably what triggered
That's
him.
what
to
I was
say,
cutting with my fork.
Yes. Okay.
And my wife's German, and they were all like, "That's insane." I still get made fun of.
How's
What
your
I
German?
like when I see
9.
British people eat or fancy people eat on shows, I like the upside down fork.
Yes.
And that's
your opinion.
I don't do it
That's
like that. I like that.
I'm going to teach you right now.
Okay.
All right. So no matter if you're are you left-handed or right-handed?
We're both right-handed.
Yeah.
Okay. So even if anyone out there listening is left-handed, it doesn't matter. Left-handed or right-handed, the fork goes in the left hand and the knife goes in the right hand. So right now we
What?
need to reverse. Yep.
Wait, say this again?
Okay. So the fork goes in the left hand.
Yeah, because you cut with your dominant hand. That's why the
correct.
knife's always.
Wait, I'm right-handed though.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you cut with your dominant hand.
That's what you
I
put
don't
pressure.
like
You're
that.
putting pressure
Yeah.
on the knife. Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's why the knife's always on the right-hand side, because most people are right-handed.
Are you
Yes.
kidding me?
I know.
Learned that as
Here
a
we
bus
go.
boy.
All right.
Wait,
Bus
you
boy.
stole my knife.
A bus boy for where?
A restaurant in Philadelphia.
Okay.
It wasn't the plaza.
St.
Wait,
Andrews.
you took my knife.
All
That's,
right.
that's a faux pas.
Okay. So
Yeah, what do you do if you do that? What if you accidentally grab somebody's knife?
What if you accidentally
do
eat someone's entree? Why don't you lead with that?
Do you give it to them?
I would, and then I would just ask for another one.
You don't take theirs.
Their knife and fork, right?
Yeah.
Are
You
you
would just say, I need
But
a
it's
new one."
okay if you touch it.
No.
No.
Oh.
If somebody touches it, I would just ask for another one. I would just get another one.
Okay.
Okay.
And you would give it to them.
No, they've already taken yours. I would just ask for a new fork and knife for
Oh,
myself.
I
If somebody
understand.
else
I'm
took
not
either.
taking yours.
You're not the person that did it. Okay.
Right. Okay. All right.
This is my left hand.
So it doesn't matter if you're
Dexterity
left-handed
is
or
bad.
right-handed.
This feels
So
weird.
okay. So here we go. We take our
Listen,
palms.
take notes out there.
Here we go. We take our palms out flat, and the prongs of our fork are facing up, and it's resting on our index finger. And then our right hand, we have our knives. The blade is up, resting on our index finger. So it's index out,
Uh-huh.
then wrap all of your fingers and twist. Perfect. I call this in my book. It's called the IWT, Index Wrap and Twist, to help you remember.
Okay.
And then you want to
good with the
scoot
acronyms.
back. It helps, right?
Yeah.
And then I want you to scoot back. So
Okay.
your index fingers are there. So we never want that. We want to scoot back like that. Perfect.
It
And
feels
then,
okay. That way
Feels
it
okay
does
so
feel
far?
okay.
Okay. And then we don't want McDonald's arches. So we want flat index fingers. Beautiful.
How's that feel?
Horrible.
Really? Okay. Here we go, though. Here we go. And then, so when we cut over the bridge, not under the bridge. So over the bridge, and then prongs down into our mouths. And we only cut one piece at a time
I learned that the
with
hard
European
way.
Sure.
etiquette, right? So cut, and in. Like
Is that what this is based? This is European etiquette?
What's called continental etiquette? Yes. But you can
Of the
we
continent.
can still use it in America. So you can use American etiquette in America, obviously, but then you can also use continental etiquette in America whenever you want to kind of get a little bit more formal.
Sure.
But the difference, American and continental, it doesn't matter. It still should be the fork in the left, the knife in the right. The difference between American and continental etiquette is this. Cut. Then the Americans
I switch.
rest and go to their
That's-
dominant hand.
Is that okay?
That's perfect
All right.
for American etiquette.
Okay.
But let's say we were in Paris tomorrow. Then we want to follow continental etiquette. And then we'd cut. And then it hovers and we go in like that.
Well, this is America. I'm switching.
Then
know-
you can switch. You can always use American etiquette in America.
Ah, I was so ready to throw you under the bus with a switch.
Oh, I'm a big switcher.
I know.
I was
Yeah.
in Paris 2 years ago, and I remember everybody, they were looking at me. Now I realize why.
You're using chopsticks.
Wait, what if you're eating spaghetti?
Oh, spaghetti is
Use a
all right.
spoon.
Spaghetti. Nope.
Really?
So
I always thought
I
that
cut
was the,
my sketties.
that was the-
okay. So there might be a lot of angry people out there when they hear this, but actually we don't twirl in the spoon. So twirling in a spoon is what we do when we're training children about how to twirl properly.
Oh, really?
So so you just take the fork,
Look at us. We're so nervous.
dominant. Nope,
Okay.
no, there's no knife
All
this
right.
time. So it's fork, dominant hand,
Okay.
down, and then twirl.
And there's no assisting.
There's no assisting. So you just want to
Now,
make
what's
sure.
the slurp? What if you catch a hanger?
I never get it perfect in a nice ball. I always got some hangers.
So if there's a
said
couple
that.
hangers, that's okay. It's normal.
Can you slurp? Is that like, or how? What's the?
So if you have the longest noodle and it's super, super long, I
Uh-huh.
would go back and retwirl
Okay,
because I the slurping gets really messy.
you go back to the dock.
This
go
is
back
no
to the
good.
dock.
I thought that was like an old school Italian thing to do.
I mean, it's not correct. It's not. It's just not correct etiquette. You could do it. You could do a lot,
These grease balls don't know what they're not.
but that's no. But and a lot of people do it, but it's just not.
Okay,
correct.
all right.
Okay.
Now, what is I've been told, I don't know nothing about it. That's not the proper way to say that. Also, these plates, I got bamboozled. These are wobbly. Now, I was told there's a certain way to rest the knife and the fork throughout the meal, whether you're done, whether you're still working, whether you're completely finished.
I think I know that from waiting tables. Aren't you
Okay.
supposed to put the knife?
I think it's like that.
the
right?
knife and the fork at the 4 o'clock position.
You are exactly right.
Yeah.
But not in the fork like you have it. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Loser. Go back to
You
your
were
shampoo.
really, you were really, that was good. That was good. It was just like that.
That
Okay.
signals the server that you're done.
Correct.
I'll
Perfect.
take my second
Perfect.
entree.
And then if you're still working, then you're making
like
an
that,
upside
right?
down V.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So the prongs are down.
Okay.
And that's
Wow.
saying, taking a break, don't take my food. You know, sometimes servers said, are you finished? Are you finished? Are you finished?
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe you're giving the wrong indicators.
Sure.
You know, one time when I was waiting tables, I was waiting on this pretty fancy couple that used to come in. They were young, but you could tell they came from a little bit of cash. They were from like Connecticut. He worked in finance. I don't know what she did other than pills, but
Jesus.
they came in one time and he was done and she wasn't. And I had a pretty good rapport with them. But he got done and I took his plate and she like not freaked out, but she's like, that is so rude. Which you're not supposed to. She was right. I mean, she was a dick about it, but
Yeah.
she's right. You should wait
Until
Don't-
both
Yeah.
are finished.
until both are
But
finished.
I think she was more in the wrong there because to correct
you.
somebody, to correct bad etiquette is bad etiquette. So
Bingo.
Whoa.
You're going to be throwing that in my face
To
next
correct bad etiquette.
yeah.
Man, you're good.
You're good, Doc.
It's so because it feels embarrasses the person.
Sure.
So she shouldn't have done that. So
Just wait and trash him afterwards.
kind of in that situation.
Leave a bad Yelp review.
But yes. So you do wait until both people are finished, and then you take their plates together.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Man, it's bad etiquette. That's really good.
Now,
I like
You just gave him a bulletproof vest.
you'll be blowing his nose on the
How dare you.
tablecloth. Yeah.
I love
Well,
the thing with
Myka
the
said-
napkin. Doing the inside of
That's
the napkin.
classy.
is
That
great.
makes sense. So you don't see it. Okay.
I have one.
Yeah.
Well,
This is-
before we move past restaurants,
I'm
Oh,
dude.
wait,
I,
you kidding me?
we haven't even
Not
gotten
going
started
anywhere.
in restaurants.
Micah,
I'm still waiting on the appetizers.
if you and somebody else go out to dinner, okay, you have an appetizer together, all right, they get the salmon. You're at a place that specializes in coal-fire pizzas or wood-fire pizzas.
Okay.
Is it proper etiquette for the other person to get a whole pizza as an entree?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the final.
Thank
maybe
you.
that-
He's,
That's been a big source.
I ordered we were at the a small coal fire like Neapolitan pizza or whatever at
Right.
at a brick oven place, the whole thing. And my wife got whatever I think it was the salmon, and I ordered that pie, the whatever,
Yeah.
and he was like, "That's so tacky.
That's cool?
That's crazy."
I think it's cool.
And you eat the pizza normal? You don't eat it with a knife and fork?
Depends on how it's served, actually. So if it's Napolitano, then that's knife and fork, actually. And if it's pre-sliced, then you can eat with your fingers.
Yeah, it was pre-sliced.
Napolitano.
This was in Westchester. It was pre-sliced. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Is at any point what personal items are allowed to be on the table? Probably none.
The answer is none.
Nothing. Not your phone, your wallet.
No.
I put my wallet on the table.
Nope. I always say if it's not a part of the meal, it doesn't go on the table.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
for the ladies out there, where should they put their purse?
Couple options. If there's a chair like this, then they can put it behind their backs. They can put it across, if it's like a clutch or something, they can put it across their laps. They can.
How about that hook they sell? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I'm fine with the hook. I'm fine with
You're
the hook.
fine with the hook.
I'm fine with the hook.
Man,
I don't
my
have
mom
one.
found that. And
Yeah.
that blew her fucking hair back.
I don't have one, but I'm fine with it. It makes sense to me.
Okay.
It makes sense to me. The only, because it also avoids, if you kind of hang it on the back of your chair, it's not safe. Somebody could steal. I actually had a handbag
Get
stolen
swiped, yeah.
in New York when I was probably 21, like that. But also, it gets in the way of servers, right, who are trying to come around. So I'm okay with the hook.
Follow-up question. Dude's jacket on the back of the chair.
I would check it rather than that. But
That's the classy answer.
if you didn't have that, then that's fine. If there's no coat check, then that's fine.
Can you wear? That's like sport coat. A gentleman keeps his sport coat on.
For formal dining, yes. But say you're at a business lunch and it's not, some people have it on. You wait until the most senior person at the table takes theirs off and then you follow. So, for example, let's say we're at a business meal and we have a client here and that client keeps their jacket on the entire time. Then we
match
don't want to
them.
be the one taking off our ties and our jackets or loosening our,
Okay.
In that vein of going off like the senior person or whatever, what's usually the rule of getting booze? Like if you were at something like that, do you wait for him to make a move before you order something?
So if you're hosting the client, right? So then you should offer, would you like a drink? Would you like any of the bottle of wine?
And if they say I'll do a Diet Coke,
then you don't get alcohol. Would be my advice.
I'll
Yeah.
do a Long Island iced tea.
Yeah. I would be careful there.
And that's business. But say you're going out to dinner with friends. It's like you and your
Yeah.
cool Swiss husband and another couple, and you sit down. You can drink then, right?
Yes.
You don't have to match
Definitely.
whatever.
Definitely.
And how many drinks is too many drinks?
Depends on the person.
Better be 8.
Yeah.
And how do you match like if you're because me and my girl run into a thing where I drink a lot faster than she does.
Right.
So like she's like at the end of the dinner, it's like she's still working on that one drink, and I usually have to pound it before we leave so I can get the hell out of there. But like, what's the rule back and forth? If you're out with somebody, are you supposed to match their alcoholic intake?
I don't think so because.
All right.
Yeah.
Can't be beer bong and beers though.
Yeah.
either.
Of course.
Have you ever seen a flambango?
What's
no,
that?
but I'm in.
I'll send you one. No, it's a whole nother episode. I'll just send you one and just see your reaction when you get it.
Okay.
And say it's from Myka.
Okay.
You'll be shocked. Yeah. But no, I would say that you don't need to match because everybody's different, right? Like somebody could just have one glass of wine the whole meal, and that might just not be enough for
Sure.
somebody else.
Okay. Sure.
That's fine. But can I just add in one thing?
Please.
When you are, say, with groups, let's say you're the only one drinking or you order champagne and everyone else just has a beer. I think you have to be really careful when it comes to bill splitting that if you're the person ordering more significant
You have
amount
to jump
things,
on that.
You really, I think it's that person.
Well, that's big. Paying this,
We're dirtbags enough that we don't split anything.
we won't
like
split
that.
a bill. I'll have someone. One of us
We'll
will
just
jump
on it. Yeah, because we
Right.
get too uncomfortable and stuff like that.
Wait, what do you mean? You just
Like if I'm out with friends,
yes.
I'll just pay the bill. I'm not going.
You take right.
Hey, you had the mozzarella
Right.
sticks,
Yeah.
or not even go. I think it's. I mean, he worked in the he worked as a server for a long time. I think it's a faux pas to
It used
ask,
to drive me crazy when
ask the waiter to split this 5
these
or 6
NYU
ways.
NYU
It's
kids
like,
would
just
come in and
get
split
it
the
next
check
time.
6 ways.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's how I feel. So it's like, if I go out with another couple, I go, maybe another couple will just split it down the middle, like, hey, 2 cards, whatever. But it's like, usually I'll get it, you get the next time.
But
Right.
we've also gotten into discussions of sometimes I know I do that too heavily, and we've gotten into the thing of that sometimes that's not cool to do to the other person, like it makes them feel like a bozo.
Right.
You
Or
always pick up the tab.
Well, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like, I mean, if like somebody,
or really over tip. Like he went out to some guy that he knows, invited him and his wife to their restaurant. There was no check, and he tipped a certain amount, and we gave him crap saying that you should have gave him like $400. But sometimes that's like a face throw. What's the like if you and your husband go out to dinner with another couple? I assume everybody does well. How do you guys handle that?
I mean, usually we just split it in the middle. Is
2 cards.
2 cards.
Okay.
Is what we usually do.
I think 2 cards is a couple.
Yeah,
2
2
couples. I think that's
You're never
fair.
doing itemized or anything like that.
No, we don't. We
You
don't.
can't.
I really don't think there's anything wrong with it because I do think a lot of people don't have the means to,
For sure.
So I think it depends on the person. We're just a split down the middle. We never itemize. It's just not for us.
Sure.
I feel like it's too awkward for me to do that.
I'm the same
100%.
way, yeah. And it's mostly social anxiety for me. I'm
yeah,
like, I
me
can't.
too. Me too.
I would rather even spend the money if I don't have it
Me too.
to
And
get out of that
I
situation.
often find if it's just me and another person, I almost always pick up the bill myself.
How do you do it?
always-
Do you ever sneak away and give them the
All
card?
the time.
That's
all
the
the
move.
time.
You're usually picking up the check when you're
90% of the time I go out
Class
to
act.
anything.
I love
And only if they beat me to it. And
Have
even
they
even if
snuck
it's
away?
even if it's a man, it's like a power move too.
Love it.
Respect. Mind
You're
game.
like,
yeah.
but yeah, I think it's.
Put them in a smaller chair.
I
too.
also don't like feeling like I owe people things.
Of course.
That's a bad feeling to me. I'm like, oh, I owe them.
Yeah.
You're a
So
bit
I
crazy
like-
too. We're finding
I
out.
like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I like it.
Florida.
Now what speed of eating? I was told I eat pretty fast. That's not. I mean, my wife is slow. I'm
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
So it's bad. It's tough.
Kevin pulls out a starter pistol.
Yeah, it's.
Okay. So I think
He woofs it
Americans
down,
we
as they
eat
say.
really fast as
We
a culture.
do.
But the correct etiquette here would be you do match the person you are eating
Well,
with.
why doesn't she match me? What are we
she
doing?
should.
here?
She should. She should. She should speed up and you should slow down.
Well, I think too. If I move to the new knife and fork utensil,
Being there for 3 hours.
that'll slow me
will,
down
yes,
a little bit.
It will slow you down.
Okay.
It definitely will. But I think, I would say, and there's something you can remember to help you. Say you're in a group and there's 6 people. You're in a business meeting and the client's there or the VIP person, your boss. So that boss takes on the VIP status or the client, and that person is like the king or queen of
You all
the
react to them.
table. And when they're finished, you're finished.
Even if you're not done?
You need to speed up. So let's say you're the king, and we're all here.
How you doing?
We're all here.
That's what I
when
like.
you're
Who do you
finished,
think we're eating with?
even if you're a fast, then that means we all need to kind
Eat
of
fast.
right, because we don't want the king or queen sitting there waiting for us all stare like
You hear that?
yeah.
Off with their heads.
Yeah, and that actually is still practiced in the palaces today.
No kidding.
Really?
Yes.
Man, they must suck to have dinner with them. Come hang out with Uncle Hank. Do whatever the hell you
Be
want.
spilling all over the place.
I have a couple more food questions.
Me too.
Okay.
So I got into an issue with a good friend of mine. So me and my buddy Chris Cotton, God rest his soul, went and both got cheesecake. We went to this cheesecake place. We each got a different kind of cheesecake. Okay.
Okay.
And
I know what
we
you're doing.
agreed that we were going to each take a bite of each other's cheesecake.
Right. Okay.
He presented me with his cheesecake. I believe I did the gentleman thing of going to the left corner of the cheesecake and taking it. He, when I presented him with my cheesecake, took the tip bite, which we all know is the best bite. And we got into a big argument about it. Who's right and who's
He's
wrong?
been dead for 6 years. Give it up. It's one bite of cheesecake a decade ago.
So he took the tip.
He took the
tip.
tip.
So God rest his soul. He is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, you got that going for you.
But also with any kind of cheese, any kind
I
of
love you,
pie
big guy.
cheese, anything like that, you don't take the tip. You go
don't.
along the side. You slice along the side because if you just take the tip, that's like the tip of the cheese wheel. So it's the best part.
Even
So-
with
Oh, wait,
slices
hold
of
on.
cheese.
Yes.
Wait, you mean if you're presented with a charcuterie board?
Right. Let's say there's some brie or something and you go to somebody's house.
Uh-huh.
You don't just chop off the tip because then you're leaving the rind for everybody else, which is like
So
more
you
tasteless.
slice it like a
you
like a
slice
cake.
it like a cake.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
At my house, they always go inside because they don't like the rind. So at
Oh,
the
and
end,
then
it
it's like
looks
a hollowed out.
Yeah, it looks like an empty deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
Now, a charcuterie board you eat with your hands, no?
Yes.
How do you?
I like eating with my hands.
What do you do with your like past hors d'oeuvre situation? What do you do with your
All right.
toothpicks?
So a couple things there. Let's say I'm your server and I come around. I have pasta hors d'oeuvres. The number one thing people do, they just take it and say thank you. So actually, first you take the napkin. You put the napkin in your hand. Then you take one piece at a time. Thank you. You let them go, and then you eat it. And then you put the toothpick back in your napkin, and then you kind of fold the napkin and get rid of the napkin.
Put it
A
in
lot
your
of times
pocket.
put it in my pocket, yeah.
No pocket.
Pocket.
What if it's one of those cool little swords though, and you want to keep it for later?
Then in your pocket.
Okay.
Respect. Now, is it uncouth to post up by where they're coming out with the past hors d'oeuvres?
Is it bad to play a zone defense next to the kitchen door?
And only one piece?
One piece at a time. One piece at a time.
What if it's like the scallops or something that you know is not going to make it around a second or third time? You got to
You
get what
know-
it getting's good.
Then I think I think you could go back for another one. I think it's bad to hover, but I do think
I'm
that
a
you
big
could
hover
you
guy.
could go back. You could go back. I mean, you don't want to be like a Pac-Man, right? Like the
Just me and you going around the party?
yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Okay. When can you ask for your table to be changed at a restaurant?
When you are near a bathroom,
Or
I
the front
think
door?
the front door, a back door, near an air conditioning vent,
Gotcha.
anything like that. So something that makes you uncomfortable, basically.
Okay.
Okay.
And I always say if you're on a date or you're hosting a client or somebody else, you get there early. You get there before the other person so you can check out the table.
Whoa, get boots
Whoa,
on the
that's
ground.
pretty good.
And
the
if you're
meeting.
really slick and you know the restaurant well, every single table has a number. Every single table has a number. So if you know the good tables, then you call ahead and you say, I would like to request
Table
table
6.
15, table
Yeah.
whatever ahead.
I used to work at a place that everybody knew that, and there was a lot of
Mm.
there was a lot of movers and shakers that came in. They always wanted the one table in the front.
It was
Right.
at Denny's. Okay.
Actually, Denny's has the best cheesecake of all time
Whoa.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh,
with
man.
the cherries on top.
Okay. Denny's cheesecake.
Florida.
And when is it okay to send something back, and what is the proper way to do so?
So only if something is wrong with it. So if it's let's say you order something well done and it comes rare, that's an exception. I think it's okay to send it back because that's an extreme.
Sure.
But if you said medium well and it comes medium, I would not send it back.
You
I
would
really wouldn't.
Especially if you were in a business. thing.
Yes,
You
I
don't want to
think
look like that person.
If it's an extreme like that, or there's something wrong with it, those are the only times.
I
And
respect that. I
wine-
like that.
Yeah, it's like come on.
That makes me
You
like
know?
you even more.
And I think that with wine, if you some people taste the wine, right? The server comes over and pours a little bit for you to taste if you order it. And a lot of people say, no, it's a little too dry. And they send back the wine. But that's not why they're giving you the taste. They're trying to let you know if the bottle's corked or not.
Yeah, we used
It's not like, oh, do we like it or not? They just open the whole bottle for you.
They're just
not
making sure it's drinkable.
correct. They're not saying, do you like it? You already ordered it. They've opened the bottle for you. You should drink it.
And the restaurant can tell because we used to run into that. I learned that working at Devon Seafood in Philly, is that people will try to do that, and we can tell if the wine's corked or not.
Right.
So it's like you're paying for it,
Exactly.
punk.
It's wasteful.
Yeah.
What about screw top wine?
I have no problem with screw top wine. Actually, there's some really good wines that are screw top.
Yeah, we had a bottle somewhere around here. What happened to it?
Yeah. I think it's actually there's some really beautiful bottles that are screw top.
Do you
now.
know that wine, by the way?
No, I don't. Oregon.
Luke.
It's not. That was a shot at the other producer.
Yeah.
On the low
Oh,
for
sorry.
getting a bozo bottle of wine.
Okay, I have a few more restaurant things, and then I want to, hit some other topics. But I mean, we are such a food restaurant program. How many alterations can you make to your dish? I.e., hey, can I do this? No tomatoes, no whatever, with a side of like.
I mean, I think you can within reason.
Okay.
I think you could say no tomatoes, no onions. I think that's fine.
Mhm.
I think when you totally change the recipe, I think that's
Okay, fair enough.
right. So one or
Within
two, I think is
moderation.
fine. Right.
I'm seeing a slight pattern, and I love this about you, is that your kind of rule is that you can be too over the top with it, and when you do that, like you said, then you no longer are
Being
practicing proper etiquette.
Exactly.
Like you can't be too much of a pain in the ass or like try to be too like bougie or whatever.
Exactly. And the whole thing, no matter what course I teach, whenever I'm teaching, it could be to, a business group or an individual person, I always teach that etiquette is about kindness and respect and thinking of others first. And if you think of it in that way, it's not about being posh. It's not that at all.
Yeah.
It's about
being
thinking
courteous.
Courteous, right.
You're
So-
always hitting the server with a thank you and stuff like that, I would assume.
Oh my gosh, I was a server. I know how it feels to be on both sides.
Sure.
And I've been treated horribly, and so it's like the server should be the person that you show the most respect to at the
Yes.
table. And I feel like you can tell a lot about people how they treat servers.
I love
Very
to
much
me,
so.
it's like there's nothing more attractive than someone who sits down, who has amazing manners, who's so kind to the server, who knows their name. Oh, sorry, what was your name? Bill, thanks so much, Bill. And like treating that person is just that to me is like the best manners.
I love it.
Is it bad to do the check? I get the check.
I would say I just called. So I have a little trick. So I 2 fingers together, not peace sign, together above your shoulder, and then
That's
you
a
call.
signal.
That's the signal to server. Yep.
Pretty good. It's not aggressive. It's just
Because sometimes servers, and I train a lot of servers at a lot of restaurants, they see it as condescending when they look over to your table and you're waving or never obviously snap, clap, anything like that, whistling. Yeah.
Jimmy!
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's one way to do it.
Okay.
Or when they're over, say, can I please have the bill when you have a moment?
Gotcha.
And then
okay.
How do you feel about this? So from being a server, and I don't know if this is right or not, from being a server, I try to minimize their steps of service, especially at the end. So I've gotten into this thing now where if, we're done, I'll do this and I'll take the card out. So when they come over, I'll just go, put it on here.
It seems dismissive to me.
How do you feel about that?
I think it depends on if you're trying to take the bill because you think there's going to be an argument over the bill.
No, it's not that.
Okay.
It's not because it's coming from the same. It's on the same credit card.
Yeah. We're together.
So he just
Okay.
I do this all the time.
I would ask for the bill because what you're doing is you're actually rushing them. So you think you're skipping a step, but maybe they need to go over and like they might have a protocol. And
Sure.
So I would say wait for that, just so you're like rushing. It feels rushed. So I would just wait. And just
Okay.
ask for it.
Sometimes if the service is bad, being totally honest, I do that to be like, I don't care how much it is, put it on here.
Which makes
Kinda like
It's an ego thing.
which actually makes sense to me. If you are waiting and waiting, it's going to take 30 minutes to get. Then I would do that just to
Just to
ease
get
it,
out of there, yeah.
just to get out. For
Okay.
sure.
How do you eat French fries? Fingers?
Well,
Again with the hands.
Where'd that come from?
so let's say there's a shared cone of fries. We're
That's a
sharing
classy
cone,
joint.
right?
That's a classy
Cone.
joint.
Cone,
You're
or-
talking about one of the cones that
or
have the little
basket.
dipping
Let's
sauce
say a
holders?
basket. We'll bring it down. That's a basket of
A
fries.
cone of fries. I ain't never heard that.
Okay.
Florida is in your rear view, miss.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, we have a basket of fries.
Fried and duck fat.
So then, if there's a basket, then the correct etiquette is to take some fries and put on your plate and eat off your plate.
With your hand.
With your
With
hands?
your-
handful?
You know, I think so. And you're in a casual place, a basket of fries. That is not correct etiquette because you're touching other people's fries.
But it's not the...
But if there's no
Okay.
utensil for that, that's kind of what they're intending for you to do, right? Because to take a fork wouldn't work, or take a spoon wouldn't work. And then, or you could shake a basket. You could shake it if you're weird about touching people's food. You could
That's
shake it
pretty
onto your
good.
foot or under your foot,
Onto your plate.
on your plate.
We're rubbing off on you.
Yeah. She would be smoking by the time she leaves here.
You would shake the basket,
Calling us y'all and shit.
and then
What are you,
you know,
doing later? Okay.
yeah. But otherwise, if it's on your plate, it's served on your plate. You can use a fork or fingers, whatever you want.
How about what do you think is the classier way to distribute your ketchup? Let's say you have your French fries on your plate. Is it do the Jackson
drizzle
Pollock
or
or
the
is it
dip?
dip?
Oh, you are going to not like this. So
Get your ketchup plate,
yeah.
please.
So there is a place on your
Tell me my
plate
ketchup bowl.
just for sauces and butters.
Where's
Say
that
it again?
at?
There's a place on your plate just for sauces and butters. So let's say we're putting ketchup onto our plate. It goes on one specific part of the plate. It goes
Really?
at 5 o'clock. So if this is 12 o'clock, it goes at 5 o'clock. It's for sauces and butters.
No kidding.
And so let's say
Can I guess why?
Yes.
Because it's the last place with your fork hand. No, your fork hand's over here. That does okay. Sorry.
No, but our knife. So we're putting the sauce
Oh,
on.
that's
then we're
how much of a
taking-
dirtbag I am.
We're taking the sauce and then we're putting it on whatever let's say we have barbecue sauce. We have a piece of chicken. We cut that chicken. We take the barbecue sauce. We put it up and then we go.
That's what my
Yeah.
We're
wife
never Dunkin'.
Wow, we're only Dunkin' Donuts.
If you're a hillbilly, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, armpit butter.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I asked you this before, but with the forks, I love it. I'm a big
Guy.
I'm a big multiple items per bite. I like to get everything together.
Okay.
I'm also a big bite. We're also big bite and sip people.
That was my next
Is bite
question.
and sip bad?
Bite.
What's a bite and sip?
You bite and then take a sip of your drink.
Yes. Yes. We're gonna work on the bite and sip.
I love it. It's the favorite
But
thing.
hold on,
You've
I-
never taken a bite of pizza and an ice cold screaming Coca-Cola?
And then it's like a big old washing machine.
Yeah. But wait, hold on a second.
That's a great way to put it. It's
Wow.
like a big old
I'm looking at her
yes.
face. But wait, don't you remember in Ratatouille when they talked about how
It's a cartoon.
about the combination of flavors? I love like a piece of cheese and a piece of prosciutto, and then take a sip of the wine and what that does in my mouth.
Oh.
No, stop it. Dude, we are animals to her. No good.
But sometimes-
that laugh was said so much.
Sometimes I'll
She
do
just
that,
scooched her chair
and
back.
I'll get a little something on the rim, and I'll have to like wipe it off with the napkin.
We're gonna
So
work on that.
That's no
We're gonna work
good.
on that. No.
Really?
We're gonna work on that in a moment. Yes. No.
What I was going to ask you, I'm sorry, is a piece of steak and then the mashed potatoes. They kind of put them on there.
So you can combine two foods at once. So steak and mashed potatoes, great. Steak and broccoli, great. Mashed potatoes and broccoli, great. Steak, mashed potatoes, and broccoli.
That's a shepherd's pie.
Right? I know. Well, but if it's like a lasagna or something that's intended to be mixed
okay,
together,
I got you.
and then my exception for that is Thanksgiving. I just think
I was gonna
Thanksgiving is
say,
just an
there we go.
exception.
I use the
You
mashed
know?
potatoes as a bit of a paste.
Yeah.
I get everything
You know what?
together.
That's my secret.
It's
I
like
do
a piece
too.
of gum.
It's like my dirty little etiquette instructor secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have a couple, like if you're hosting,
Okay.
right? Your people are coming over your house. What are you allowed to make them take their shoes off?
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. I would say it's cultural. A lot of families culturally don't allow shoes in the house. So when you come into a home, I would say look for cues that you should be taking off your shoes. Always expect that somebody could ask you to take off your shoes. So your socks match. Are they
My
clean?
sock game ain't great.
Are they clean? Do you have holes in your socks? Like,
Yes,
think about,
yes.
do you have a pedicure? Have you not painted your nails for 10 months?
Who you been talking to?
You know, like,
just feel like a
you-
lot of
like before
accusations.
you, I would say be careful
Well,
about
isn't
that.
it kind of rude to
Okay.
be like, hey, can you take your... I feel that's rude to the guest, to me. Of like, hey, I invited you over to my home. Now let's act like we're
I
children. Like,
disagree.
Except
I'm a
for
shoes off
you know
house.
what,
keep
though,
your
we-
shoes on. We're goddamn adults here.
Yeah, but we also live in New York City, and that's disgusting.
You shouldn't be hosting parties.
know?
That's what I say.
You don't wear your shoes in the house.
Oh,
No, but if I went
In
over
New
someone's house, no. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel I
Not
really.
it's not a goddamn slumber party. I'm here for dinner and cocktails.
But here's the thing.
Maybe
so
some weed.
if it's formal, so if it's a dinner party, I let people at my house. I let people keep their shoes on.
Can't
if
be
it's a-
eating dinner with in your
Correct.
socks. Like,
Correct.
we're not at home
So
here.
it depends on what people are. So if I just have a friend over, then I have slippers. So
You got them at
You
the
do?
house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I saw that. in
we
Germany.
have a little shoe cupboard where people put their shoes, and then I have slippers for them. But if it's a dinner party, nobody takes off their shoes. I would
Thank
never
you.
ask that.
Thank
It
you.
looks silly if somebody's dressed so nicely and they're barefoot in your house
Do
That's
you guys
weird.
do you guys do that a good amount? You and your husband? Do you host like
all the time. We have super fun parties.
really?
Yeah,
You
we
have
love
to
host.
invite us.
We love to host. I would love to have you.
Toby's got a collared shirt he can wear.
We would embarrass you.
I would love to have
Maybe
you. all.
you gotta be looking at us like zoo animals.
Come see me at the plaza.
I'm
Come
not
on over
allowed
to the
back
plaza.
in there.
I have a question for you. When it's just you and your husband
I'll be
alone,
going through your
Yes.
medicine cabinet.
and you order in food,
Yes.
are you putting that on
Are
plates?
you plating that?
Or are you eating out of the container?
I will tell you the whole truth here. If nobody was looking, it was just me and him, I would not plate it. He insists on plating.
This
He-
guy's
He
hoity-toity.
seems like a classy dude.
he,
Swiss banker, probably.
But
Can buy
many
and sell
times, I would love just to eat out of a carton and he's like, Myka, can we just use plates? Like he's very.
Du bist ein Animal.
The Chinese carton is nice though. You feel like you're in a movie.
He would never.
Really?
I would love
How many
that.
languages does he speak? At least 3.
6.
Yeah.
6.
6.
Swiss speaks 4. There's 4 official languages
There
in
are.
Switzerland.
Good.
Crazy.
How'd you know that?
I learned that in Switzerland.
Do you know all 4?
There's German,
Schmarvin.
Italian,
Brazilian.
Italian.
German,
Then
Italian.
there's a Swiss diet. Like there's a Swiss.
Yep. It's
I don't know the full.
Romanche. Romanche is a Swiss dialect. Then it's Swiss German. Then it's French, and it's Italian. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
just
lot.
remember they were speaking Swiss German, and my wife was like,
Yeah, they don't-
They sound
they
like
don't-
hillbillies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the Germans often can't understand the Swiss.
Yeah,
It's I can't
it's
understand.
expensive over there
either,
too. It's like
unfortunately.
$120 for lunch.
What does he do? And can we ask that?
Yes, he is.
Caked up.
He invests. He's an investor.
He's an investor.
He's investing.
Is
I
it?
bet he doesn't miss.
Yeah, he's
Is-
probably a
is it-
good-looking guy.
Is something like that a faux pas? I guess not to ask. Anything with money is wrong, right? Because I felt bad
How
about
much cash you got on you right now?
The other
No, I'm kidding.
the other night I had a couple of drinks in me, and I asked one of our buddies who just got married what they brought in, because I'm getting married later this year.
Wait, you asked somebody how much they were making?
How much money they made at their
at
wedding?
the wedding.
Oh.
That's no.
Is that
You don't
bad?
do that in your. She wouldn't do that in her circles. You keep your shoes on at dinner and don't ask
was
about
drunk.
finances. He had one drink. I was there.
I would, yeah, I think that might make them uncomfortable, would be my guess.
He didn't give it up either.
Yeah,
But
we're dirtbags.
yeah,
dude.
I would say it
That's
probably
no
make them
good, huh?
And what if you're going over someone's house for a dinner party, right? You're coming over my house, or I'm having a nice soiree. You can keep your shoes on because we're not animals. What are you bringing?
Ah.
Oh,
Because you don't show up
question.
empty-handed.
No,
That's
never. So I mean, you could get creative. I think my favorite thing anybody ever brought me was kind of I had a cocktail party and they brought me these like funny cocktail napkins that had funny slogans on them,
Gotcha.
and
That's
I
cute.
thought that was great.
It's kitschy. It's fun.
You could bring anything. You could bring a baked good. You could bring something from your favorite bakery.
If you're
you could
bringing a
bring...
bottle of wine, what are you dropping on it?
Okay, well here's the thing. Here's the problem with that. So I might get butchered for this too, but if you're going to a formal dinner party, you don't bring flowers and you don't bring wine.
Really?
Formal dinner party, yes.
What defines
Why,
that?
who would butcher you? Other etiquette people, like in the etiquette world?
No, just the public.
The public.
Because the flowers and wine
No
is
one
the
listening
most...
is going to a formal dinner party.
Yeah,
so I
what
think-
defines
Okay,
a
so
formal
if-
dinner party?
if somebody's like, I'm serving, I'm having a birthday party and I'm inviting 8 of you and it's going to be a really nice dinner party.
At their house.
At my house.
You go to things like that?
Yes.
Pretty cool.
I think it's nice. It's such a nice thing to host.
Sure.
And so if, let's say, I invite you over to my birthday party at my home, and I'm saying I'm going to have a beautiful, meal
Get dressed
prepared.
up.
Get dressed up. It's going to be a celebration. Then I wouldn't bring wine, and here's why.
Okay.
Because the moment you bring wine, you bring your bottle of Malbec, and I am serving white wine sauce with a pasta and seafood, and you bring your bottle of red wine that clashes with what I have, and I have this whole, I've got white wine, that's what I'm serving. Then you come with your red, you put pressure on the host, you're like, which clashes with what they already had planned. So
now, would it be uncouth to just take that wine, or do you have to open that wine? You receive the gift.
You don't have to open it, but a lot of people feel pressure to.
We'll open it.
But you don't have to open it. And then, so you could say, let's say you bring wine to a formal dinner party and then you realize that it's not, and that's all you had to bring. It's better than nothing. Then you could put a bow on it. You could put a little ribbon. You could say for a special occasion. You could tell them it's not for that evening. And then I think it's okay.
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I'll go, but again, my reasons are selfish. It's a face throw. I'll go and get like $100 bottle of wine, go over to my cousin's house. I'll hand him the bottle of wine and be like, don't put that out for these animals. You keep that for later when something nice.
That's nice. I like that. That's nice. Then I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine if you do that. You just put pressure on the host to, and then,
show up with a bottle of Prisoner and be like, put that away for something.
That being said, if it's a good friend, that person loves
that specific thing, or would be excited if they're a big red
loves
wine
Chardonnay, then you bring what they like. It's like, it's more like if you don't know that person well and to bring something like that. And you can always bring champagne for a celebration. Any kind of celebration, champagne's always a good idea.
Yes. Wait, so champagne's okay to bring? You're not stepping on. It's not. That doesn't not include it in the flowers of the wine.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think champagne's in its own category. Who doesn't want to get a bottle of champagne?
That's real good.
So do you have like a go-to that maybe outside of the booze category then? Like a whole wheel of Stilton?
You know what? Actually, I have brought cheese. Because the Swiss part, so it's kind of our kitschy thing to bring something Swiss. So we always kind of bring like a really nice, like a whole thing of cheeses, Swiss cheeses with a little thing of honey and a little honeycomb scooper or something. And we say
cute.
like just something it has a good conversation, something like that.
Oh,
and then
it's from the whatever.
Flowers,
whatever.
because people have allergies. Flowers have meaning. The number one thing people bring here is from a bodega. It's like a white lily, which means death. Right?
Really?
New York City, the number one, right? Flower is like a white lily. So it has meaning. And also, if you bring me a big handful of lilies, you walk in, you hand say, hi, Myka, thanks for having us. Then my job is to go get a vase, clip it. So you're giving me work. So if you bring flowers, just bring in a vase. So there's caveats with wine and flowers. I'm just teaching you the formal, and you can always scale down where you need to, but at least you know it all.
Yeah, I always try to show up with a nice heady indica.
Nice, pre-rolled joint.
You're all class.
Yeah, I mean,
love that.
I feel.
How do you feel about the short sleeve button down shirt?
It's not great.
No, I'm okay with that. I like collars.
But can you wear that under
a sport
long jacket? You can't wear a short sleeve shirt under a jacket.
No.
And what is the acceptable gift for a wedding?
Well, I would always go to the registry first because
Really?
that's what the couple wants. Like if you go off registry, it's kind of like you can, but the couple has told you what their wishes are, and then you go and get them a lawnmower. It's like, or like a barbecue pit.
It's a lawn boy.
So I feel like, and if you do that, if you go off registry, just get a gift receipt just in case. But I think I would say registry.
What are we talking cash-wise?
How do you feel about cash?
I actually just revealed in 2024 the most common in America. The average person spends between $125 and $150 per person to go to a wedding.
Right.
Is the new
what
it costs.
So you have to cover your head, right?
I mean, people ask that. I don't think you do because you don't know what that person spent per head. But I would say if you're going with a plus one, you spend a little bit more. If you're just by yourself, maybe, it also depends on how well you know the person. Is it your best friend? Is it just your
Does that change too if there's an investment to get to the wedding? If you're like, I had to buy a plane ticket, I had to get two hotel rooms.
For sure, it could. It could. If you're going to a destination wedding, you might spend a little bit less on the gift.
What if it's a cash bar? I'm opening that envelope.
She's not going to cash bar weddings. What are you talking about?
All
And
right.
mine's open bar, by the way. I'm like the cash bar. I'm not dirtbag.
You know, I think if it's a cash bar, I still would give them a nice gift. I wouldn't
They're
let
getting
that
a blender
affect
from Target
that
for
would,
sure.
That wouldn't affect how much I gave them. but
Okay.
Well, you're a better person
You
than
say
me.
go to the registry first before cash.
I mean, cash is always wanted. I think cash is always wanted.
Sure.
But I think instead of a random gift, I would go registry.
I mean, I could sit here and ask you questions for the next 5 years.
This was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I mean, how eye-opening, and how are we going to try to eat like this now? We're not embarrassing ourselves at the palm like bozos.
I really, if you try it for 1 week, like really try it for 1 week and see, and it doesn't feel weird after a week. Because I didn't grow up eating like that either.
Okay.
And so, but also, can I just say one thing that's important is that let's say tonight we go to our friend's house in New Jersey, Connecticut, wherever, Brooklyn, doesn't matter, and everybody around the table is eating in the American style. It would be obnoxious for you to then pull out your fork and knife and eat in the,
Oh,
you know?
if I learn how to do it, I'm doing it everywhere. I am face throw. I'll be at McDonald's doing that.
Okay, fair.
But
fair.
I love that. That's why you're awesome. That is
You know,
so
you want
cool.
to make
Don't
people
embarrass
feel.
anybody.
Yeah, you want to make people
the
feel
courtesy-
comfortable.
the- yeah, the
that's
courtesy.
what.
Wiping my nose with my napkin.
That's
too.
what
I can't
etiquette's
stop.
about. It's like making people feel comfortable.
You haven't done it the way she said to do it once.
Oh, I have one more before we leave. What is the proper way to eat a burger? Do you cut the burger?
Okay, so yes, actually you do. You cut it not in quarters though, in half, and then you eat one half at a time.
And when
I could be okay with that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I like when it's pre-cut. It's nice.
Yeah.
I feel fancier.
Plus,
You know
your
what I mean?
bites are better.
Plus,
And
it's also like, yeah, maybe I won't finish this. You know, there's a little bit of a lie to it.
Also, when you cut it, you also, if there's any sauce, it kind of comes out of the sides, so that when you just take the whole burger to your mouth, that's when all the sauce goes to the side. That's when you get the drips on the shirt. So that if you're cutting it, the sauce kind of comes out, and you can take the knife and just kind of like clean it up a little bit before you bring it to your mouth.
Now, say you were eating it as a whole.
We've always had this question.
Would it be acceptable? This is what we do. We take a bite and then invert it and put it down like that.
Why?
I'm not really sure why it started.
Because we're dirtbags.
But in theory, if it's a very juicy burger, the bottom bun is thinner, so it gets soggier and then starts falling apart. The top bun, typically brioche, is more absorbent,
Right.
and then so you do that, and then like a crane.
Right, I've never heard of it.
Well, put that in the book.
That's gonna go. That'll be the cover of my next book.
It's just me.
That's it.
What an education, Myka.
Yeah,
thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, Myka Meier, founder and director, Beaumont Etiquette. Going to be on tour this fall. She's going to be in Chicago, New York, San Fran, Los Angeles, Austin. For more, go to MykaMeier.com.
Yeah.
So
Thank
much
you so
fun.
much.
Thank
We
you
can't
so
thank
much
you
for
enough.
having
Anything else
me.
you want the folks out there to know? You got your social media pages, which are fantastic, the Instagram and all that.
Thank you. Just Myka Meier at Myka Meier. And I have YouTube's lots of free videos and free content too, if that's
Awesome.
helpful. But no, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
We
this
love
was
it.
great.
Thank you so much. This was fantastic. Kippy, what do you got for them?
Guys, we're over the road. Philly's announced. That's selling out. Red Bank, New Jersey, August 17th. And then the Route 66 tour. We're starting in Chicago and in L.A., and we'll see you out there.
Bonjour, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.